Hello again, Algebra 2 students. We're back in our complex number syllabus. We are now in Tier 2 on Lesson 1, solving simple quadratics. Let's check that off. Recall that when we are solving simple quadratics, we're finding roots, zeros, solutions, and x-intercepts. But remember, x-intercepts only pop up with real solutions. If you want to recall the slide method that we used in Unit 4, we want to take factors of AC, A and C, that add up to B. And then you want to divide the A back out because you put it in, so you want to take it out. So let's come down here, get a little bit more practice doing this. My A is 6, my B is -8, and my C is -8. So my factors of A and C are -48 because -6 times -8 equals 48. And then my B is just -8. So let's start with 1 and -48. We know that's not going to work. Let's do 2 and -24. We know that's not going to work. Let's do 3 and -16. We're getting closer. 4 and -12. Hey, 4 plus -12 gives us -8. So there are two factors, so we want to write those in factor form. So we have x plus 4 and x minus 12. But remember now, we got to divide back out the a, and a is 6. So we want to divide 6 here, and we want to divide 6 here. The first thing we want to do is we notice that 6 evenly goes into the second one. So that one is just going to simply give us x minus 2. So 6 does not evenly go into 4, so we want to slide that to the front, and that gives us 6x plus 4. And now we can check this if we want to, and we get 6x times x is 6x squared. 6x times -2 gives us -12x. 4 times x gives us positive 4x, and positive 4 times -2 gives us -8. If we combine the like terms right here in the middle, we get 6x squared minus 8x minus 8. So we know it works out. Those are our two factors. And to solve, we set them both equal to 0. So we take 6x plus 4 equals 0, and x minus 2 equals 0. This one's pretty simple. You just add 2 to both sides, and you get x equals 2. And over here, I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, and I get 6x equals -4. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 6. And I get x equals -4 over 6, which that can simplify to x equals -2/3. So my two solutions are x equals -2/3 and x equals 2 for this first equation. Now using the slide method on the second equation, again I want to find factors of AC. Well, my A is 3 and my C is 2, so I want to find factors of 6 that add to -7. Well, I have 1 times 6, that equals 6. But what if I put -1 and -6? Yep, -1 plus -6 does equal -7. -1 times negative, so those are my factors. So in factored form, I get x minus 1, x minus 6, and now I got to take the a, which is 3, back out. So I got to divide this by 3. I divide this by 3. So I get x minus 1/3 times x minus 2. And 1 is not divided evenly, so I got to slide. So I get 3x minus 1 times x minus 2. We can check this. Multiplying 3x by x, that gives me 3x squared. 3x by -2, that gives me -6x. -1 times x gives me -1x, and then -1 times -2 gives me +2. And if I combine the like terms right here in the middle, I will get 3x squared minus 7x plus 2, which is perfect. That's what I'm looking for. Then I want to use the zero product property again to solve. And I do that by setting both of these equal to 0. So I get 3x minus 1 equals 0. And I'm going to do x minus 2 equals 0. Again, this is pretty simple. You just add 2 to both sides. It gives me x equals 2 is one of my solutions. On this one, I add 1 to both sides. So I get 3x equals 1. Divide by 3 to both sides. And get x equals 1/3. So my two solutions to this are x equals 1/3 and x equals 2.